I hope you're well. I'm doing a video every day in September and I have just watched the film Deliverance. So I thought I would do a review on it as I'm doing a video every day in September. Wow, a lot went on. I'm going to give you a spoiler-free review and then I'll get into the spoilers. So the film is about a struggling single mum played by Andrea Day. Her mum is Glenn Close and she's struggling with these 3 kids by herself. Her partner is in Afghanistan and she can't get money together. She's trying to make it work. She also has a problem with alcohol, which is an old problem that she's got. So the kids are worried that maybe is she drinking again. And her mum moves in with her and her mum has cancer and she can't pay for the cancer treatment and she's desperately trying to. And then a possession occurs. There is something wrong with the house. They've just moved into the house. There's something demonic. The youngest boy starts then acting in really strange ways. And that's the film, spoiler free. So into the spoilers. The acting was phenomenal. Andrea Day, Glenn Close and Monique, fantastic, like fabulous, like oh my god, I've just finished watching it. The whole thing was disturbing. It just was. It was really creepy, really disturbing, if that's what you want for your horror films, but it also had a message that you don't see in many horror films as well, and that was that just trust God. If you trust God, then he can sort everything out for you. It doesn't matter what it is, you can't deal with the problem, but God can. So Andrea Day's struggling, she's really neglecting herself and she's started drinking again, and she does have a prior history of drinking. Her and her mother have this really odd relationship because Glenn Close's character is a Christian now, but when Andrea Day was young, her character was young, her mum was, you get this idea that she wasn't very nice to her, that she was a violent woman, maybe had drink and drugs and something else going on, and then Andrea later reveals that she was abused as a child and she wanted her mum to protect her and her mum didn't protect her. So there's this friction. So Andrea's saying, oh, now you're this born again Christian, well, I don't believe in God and I don't believe in any of that, and I don't believe that you are this new person. And Glenn Close's character is saying, no, God has changed me. I'm not the same person I was when you were a little girl. I have been reborn. God has completely transformed me. And so there's that friction with the two of them. And then Andrea, it's really like a family drama. It's about her struggling as a single mum with 3 kids to try and get everything together and then deal with this alcohol problem. And everything just seems to be getting worse and worse within her life. And then this possession happens with her youngest child. And then a deliverance comes to her. I've never heard that term before. So it's someone who I'm guessing delivers a spirit back to the devil or out of your life in some way, like an exorcist, but not an exorcist was what the film was saying. So this woman comes in and she says the reason this demon has connected to you and your family is because you are weak. As the mother in the family, you are very weak at the moment, and you know she's vulnerable. She's trying to get it together. She's got this alcohol problem. She's stressed out. She's snapping at the kids. She can't seem to get anything together within her life. And so the deliverance is saying, that's why you've been chosen, because you're at a weak moment in your life. You are all very weak of spirit, and she's a non-believer as well. That is why the devil has come in. Monique's character, she's a social worker, and every time she comes to the house, the children have got bruises on them, and you know it's because of the possession and the demonic spirit in the house. But Monique's character doesn't. She thinks the mum is beating the children, and the father had put in a complaint before saying that the mum was drugged out and the kids were in danger and all this kind of stuff. So she's saying, you need to get it together. Like, what's going on with these kids? And Monique, what a fantastic actress. Can I just say that I cried in the bit when she was talking about her child, because Andrea said to her, well, maybe if you got a kid you'd understand how difficult it is, and then Monique, it reveals that she did have a son and he died. And just the way she acts, like, it draws you in, it takes you there. You know, some people, you're watching a film and you're just enjoying it. It's just a good film and that's it. And then there's other people where their acting just transports you to that emotion and they're just so good. They were like born to act, and everyone was great in it, but Monique was really good in it. Like, when she was talking about that, I cried, and talking about like the loss of her son within the story, it was like it was real. Like, you know, and acting is just so good. So her acting in it, I was, oh my god, very emotional. So Monique is a social worker trying to get things together. Then loads of demonic, crazy stuff starts happening. It's insane. The things that, there's like poo in a classroom, like, whoa, did not see that coming at all. Craziness. and then Andrea is trying to sort it out herself. So she takes the children to a doctor, and the doctor says there's nothing wrong with the children. And she says, well, there must be, because they were all in some kind of weird trance and they all did these weird things at school. They're then taken to a psychiatric hospital where they're saying, we can't tell what's wrong with the children. She then kidnaps the boy from the psychiatric hospital, takes him to the Deliverance in the house, and the Deliverance says she's basically going to do an exorcism and get the demon out. The Deliverance dies, the boy kills the Deliverance, and so she's tried this Deliverance. Then the Deliverance has holy water in her hand, so she takes the holy water. She tries to, oh my god, I thought I saw something in the background of the video. I thought I saw something move. Oh, okay, like I'm freaked out. Like it's one of those really, you know, freaky films. Anyway, so she tries the holy water, it doesn't work. She's tried so many things to get the demon out of her life. Then she sees her mum. So it's a really odd scene where the demon is basically nearly killed her. So she's having this near-death experience. She's then transported, and we can't see anything. We can just see Andrea Day's face, and she's in shock and amazement. And there's this light on her face, and it's her mum saying, you might not be able to talk to me, but you can talk to God. And so she has seen God. So now she believes in God because she's physically seen God. And she throws her hands in the air and she says, Jesus, help me. And he does. And that's the moral of the story, is that if you believe in Jesus, if you fully trust him, if you believe in God and you give it all to God, then he will help you. None of the normal horror film things of you can get an exorcist, or you can kind of get the demon out of your life and it will find a new host to go to. Like, no. If you just trust God, he'll do it for you. And because in her life she wasn't trusting God, that's why things were going wrong with her drinking. And that's what I think the overarching theme of the film is, a very Christian message, and everyone in the film is a Christian. So I think that is what they were going for. And then in the end, when she fully trusts God, she's at peace. And at the end, she hasn't got her kids with her. They've been taken into protective services. And then at the end, it says she gets them back. But just before she gets them back, she says, if it's in God's will for me to get my kids back, then I'll get my kids back. So that's how at peace she is that even if her kids aren't in her life, oh my god, I'm freaking myself out. Oh my god. Even if her kids aren't in her life, then it doesn't matter, because she has God in her life and she trusts God so much. So that is kind of the moral of the story. And then it says at the end of the story, she does get her kids back. They're driving back to where they used to live, going to live with her aunt, and she's going to make things work with their dad. So it's all like a happy ending in the end. But the whole theme is a very Christian theme of, normally in horror films, at the end of a horror film, the demon is still alive. So even if they've got the demon out of little Timmy, at the end it will be another kid. Or, you know, in the end of Gothica, where you think it's all solved, and then she looks into the road and there's a child in the road, and then the child disappears. And you know, oh, it's lining up for the next film. Or it will be, you know, this family are free of the demon, but then you look up in the window and there's a hand or a face, and then it's end credits. So it's lining it up for the next film, saying that the demon lives on. Whereas this one, because it's got this Christian message, the demon's gone. That's it. There's no more demon in their life. She has trusted God. Now that she believes in the power of God, everything in her life is going to fall into place, and she's going to trust God's plan. And these demons can't attach themselves to her or her family anymore, because they have this strong foundation of faith and belief. I thought it was a really good film. I thought it was disturbing, crazy. When Glenn Close comes back, so when they have the boy, Glenn Close, the boy basically turns into Glenn Close. That was just so disturbing. Everything that was said, everything in that scene was just craziness from start to finish. But then other parts of it felt like Disney horror, because the music was like so it was like Ghostbusters, and then really disturbing scenes. It was bizarre. And then this whole Christian theme, if you do need to believe in God, and if you believe in God, then he will protect you throughout the whole. It was just a lot. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. There were bits that were very funny. Like, you gotta admit, parts of the script were funny. Like when Monique, the boy, has basically climbed the ceiling and the doctor's saying, oh, there's nothing wrong, and then she grabs the doctor's hand and she's like, he just crawled backwards off the ceiling. And that's what gives it that kind of Disney horror theme, and then at other points you're like, this is definitely not Disney. It's only a 15, the film, which I thought would be an 18 because of the language that's in it. When Glenn Close's character comes back, because she's killed in it, so when she comes back, the language that was used, I thought that would at least make it an 18, but no. It's based on a true story as well, so a woman said this did actually happen to her. Apparently there's a documentary about it, so now I want to watch that documentary. And whilst they were filming the film Deliverance, weird stuff did happen. So the director, his sister, he always puts his sister in his films. So she had this bit part, and she, whilst she was mocking Glenn Close's character, who is having chemotherapy and kind of flirting with the nurse, she mocked the character. That was part of the scene. And then 2 days later, she unfortunately found out that she had lung cancer. So he has said he found that really odd, that she was mocking this cancer victim in the script, and then now she has cancer, and he was saying there was just so much weird stuff like that. His dog died while they were filming, and I think it was on set that his dog died. Something flew into Andrea Day's face as she was filming, which freaked out the whole crew. They then brought on a deliverant onto the set to kind of spiritually cleanse, and they all started praying and thought, oh God, have we unlocked something? And he said he thought he did kind of unlock some spirit or something. And I think when you're talking about those things all the time, it plays on your mind. Monique, they were filming a scene, and I couldn't really understand what she was saying, because she was saying it was when the demon was on the house, but that wasn't in the film, so I don't know what that was, but it was that scene. And then her thyroid was getting bigger and bigger, I'm guessing like in her neck or something, and she had to be rushed to hospital. And she said, I just felt like I couldn't breathe. Something completely took over me as we were filming this scene. So a lot of craziness on the set of the film, and it is based on a true story, which I think adds more kind of headlines, more people want to watch it because of that. I thought it was a good film. It was very Christian. I've never watched a kind of horror film that wraps up in a Christian way at the end like that. So overall, I thought it was a good film, but it was mad. It was disturbing. There was a lot going on. I'm going to end this video here, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Fell through the ground.